Good morning, Higher Hope. This is Thursday, May 28th. Just doing another video, just a dive into Scripture. That's what we're going to be doing for a while, I think. The Scripture is so amazing and powerful and has so many little pieces of beauty to it. And we're just starting with Genesis, just walking through. And I just want, yesterday we talked about in the beginning, just the beginning of time, the start of the story of God and the story of creation and the storyline that's played out through time begins with God's existence, God being around. You have this battle between evolution and creation and who was in the beginning. And from the very start of the scriptures, God existed and God made and God created. And I want to lean into that term today. Elohim is the name in that section of scripture. In the beginning, God, and really a lot of places he uses that term of God. In fact, that term is used in multiple different scenarios. One is anytime a God is used. We don't capitalize it, but Elohim can refer to the gods of the Philistines or the gods of this country or the gods of Egypt. And it can also sometimes refer to segments of angels, the Elohim, the angels cry out. It can also, they use that term for Moses as he's talking to Pharaoh. It says, you will be like Elohim to Pharaoh. You'll be like divine, powerful. And so Elohim is this generic term in some ways of who God is. It's almost like an introduction of our name, like this is Mister, or a general sense of. But as you lean into this story of God, our first meeting with Him may be that there is a God, and then we go deeper, and there's different names. And so what will happen is Elohim will be shortened to El Elyon, God Most High, or El. God my provider, and so they'll add additions that will allow us to know Him on a whole different level. The God who sees, the God who cares for us, and then and we get into Exodus, and He reveals a whole different name. Moses says, "What's your name? How do I introduce you? I can't use the word Elohim because that's how we use it for all these things. What's your name?" And He says, I am who I am. Yahweh becomes the name of the covenant relationship name of God. And so, but he starts with this creation aspect of Elohim, and it's plural. Not because there's more than one God, but because of His greatness, that He is, it's exaltation of, like, his supremacy is higher, his power is greater, and it's this picture of a being that's beyond us, who makes all of the world. And we're going to hear the story of this Elohim, this God, this divine person, this divineness, Elohim, and we'll hear the story of his story of how he works in this timeline of creation into fall and into, it's his story. It's Elohim's story. We get to know Him through the story. We get to know Him, His names and His authority and His power and His goodness and His faithfulness and His words. And it is a story about us, but it's really a story of Yahweh, of Elohim. And as you're looking through the Old Testament, and as you even work through the New Testament, in the New Testament the term God is theos, and they have a transliteration. They have an old section of that where it's like, the Old Testament uses the word theos for Elohim, and we will see this revelation of who God is. In fact, if you want to read an interesting scripture that goes back to in the beginning Elohim, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, He's the beginning of it all. Romans 1 leans further into it and says that because God has revealed Himself, Theos has revealed Himself in a very general sense of that He exists, that His power and His creativity exist, that He has revealed that in creation. And so you should have a beginning knowledge of God just by looking around, that there is a God. And then as we look at there is a God, we need to know who that God is. And that God is going to be revealed through the story of the Old Testament and then in the New Testament. But I want you to just to be able to know this term, Elohim. God, powerful, almighty. And you'll see all these names. Elohim of Elohims. He is the God of gods. He is the strong one. He is divine, mighty. His plurality of honor. He is amplified. He is bigger than we can picture. Even in the Ten Commandments, they use He is the Yahweh, your Elohim. God, He is the Lord your God. He is in relationship with you. It's the nation of Israel. It's a covenant, right? He says, I want to be in relationship with you. He is the God, Elohim. He is the God of that relation. He wants you to know him. He wants to be relational with you. He is Elohim. And you'll hear other ones like Adonai, Adon, which means Lord. Um, but I want you just to fall in love with that name, Elohim. In the beginning, God, Elohim, created this powerful being that He wants to know us through this story of Scripture. So you may want to take some time, study it, look it up yourself, Google it, read it, and find other places. I think it's mentioned over 600 times. Elohim is mentioned 600 times in the Old Testament, and then it's shortened to El, and then it's built on top of that in other places of the Old Testament. But it's a beautiful name, and I hope that you fall in love with that name.